Hey everyone, welcome to another Learn the Basics Doculife webinar. Tonight we're going to get you started quick in Doculife. If you're new, we're going to show you how to, actually let's take a look at that itinerary for tonight. We're going to find out what Doculife is for. We're going to cover off on a bunch of use cases and then talk about some other ideas of how you might want to use Doculife. We're going to show you how to create a binder. We're going to show you how to use sections. We're going to show you uploading, adding your things, creating widgets, creating an album, we're going to give you some layout tips to make some really interesting layouts using your stuff that you upload, how to invite friends and family so you can collaborate, and then also how to use the browser extensions. We got a lot to cover here, so let's jump into it and get started. All right, so what's Doculife for? Let's talk about some use cases here. And this first one here is just someone that is working with their husband to aggregate their monthly bills into one current area so they know where everything is in one spot. If they ever need to access anything, they can just come and look here for the exact month, and then they have all their bills in one place. So a really handy way to access anything that you need if you're on a budget and you're trying to work tightly with that. Having access to all your bills in one spot is super handy. All right, if you are have a second property on Airbnb or Vrbo or something like that, you can use Doculife as a guest information hub. So put everything in here that your guests would need when they arrive at your property. So things like Wi-Fi password, how to use the alarm system, how to use the kitchen appliances, how to use the HVAC, heating, air conditioning, things to do in the area itself. I should just scroll down the page here because it's quite extensive. So this is for a chalet in France. And this person has included contacts, a chat panel, so your guests could chat directly with you right here to ask you questions. And check out information. Information about getting there if they're not using a car but using public transportation such as a bus, taxi, things like that. Public transport in the area, basic rules for the house or the property, instruction manuals, again, that Wi-Fi password that everybody wants to know, and additional services in the area. So you could really be a great host by showing off your local knowledge and providing your guests with a lot of links to things that they can do and see in the area where their rental is. So you're ensuring that their stay is positive. And when the stay is positive, obviously, they're going to leave a 5-star review for you. And that's pretty much the currency in Airbnb these days is host rating. So to ensure a great host rating, use Doculife as your guest information hub. Another awesome use for this is to use it for home insurance. So this couple has put in all of their documents about their house. So all their warranties, all their service contracts, their insurance plan, their home insurance plan. And we've got a home insurance contact, survey of the land, and even property photos here in this great album right here to show the state of the house before there's like a storm, etc. So they can simply invite their insurance agent, and their agent will have access to all the documents that they need right here. So really handy there. Recipes. You have so many. There's so many recipe websites. I'm sure that a lot of people have thousands of recipe bookmarks in their browser. Doculife is a great way to consolidate these using the Web Clipper browser extension for Chrome or Firefox. You can simply highlight text and create an instant note in any Doculife binder you want. You can save images, you can save how-to videos of how to cook whatever, right into a singular binder, so you have all that information in one spot. So say you're trying to go keto, or say you're trying to go on a diet and watch your calories, things like that. You're trying to save different meals into different areas. You could have a binder for breakfast, a binder for lunch, a binder for dinner, and then save those appropriate recipes in there. So this is an example of Sarah McDonald from Australia. And she's got this amazing binder here where she has detailed out all of her recipes and even photographed a lot of what she's made. So she's got all of the ingredients stored right here, and then all the how-to underneath that in this note. And so everything's super easy to access. And you could even have this on your phone right with you at the store, create a checklist so you're ensuring that you're getting everything you need while you're out and about using the Doculife app. So yeah, great way to organize recipes, share them with friends and family. They've got everything they need here. It's really awesome. All they have to do is invite them to the binder, and we'll show you how to do that here in a moment. A wedding planning. So this is a binder that a wedding planner has shared with the prospective bride. And so this is the McWilliams and Smith wedding plan. And so you can see here, they've got a reminder here so that the wedding's in 66 days. They've got some milestones here, so a lot to get done here in those 66 days. The contact to the wedding planner is right here. So if she has any questions at all at any time, all that information is right at her fingertips. A lot of bookmarks here about available venues that were saved using the web clipper for Chrome or Firefox. Some invitation styles here, some dress styles, flowers. So you could, share this, invite your best friend, your bridesmaid. They could help you pick. They could like and comment on any of these things. Entertainment options. And then at the end, you can even organize all the contracts and paperwork all in the same spot. So super handy to have. Again, you could use this on your phone while you're out and about. Take pictures of things, inspiration that you love and think would be awesome in your wedding. Share them into your wedding binder with your wedding planner or your friends and family, and they can, provide feedback. Hey, that looks great. Super good idea. Really great way to plan a wedding. All right, so let's get into the application itself and get you going on how you can create these amazing experiences yourself. All right, let's go. Okay, so the next item on our itinerary is creating a binder. So let's take a look at that. So I'm also going to bring up the application in case anyone needs or is following along on that, because they're one and the same here. So let me just share my screen with everyone, and you guys can follow along on both, and we'll take a look at how to create these things on both the mobile app and the desktop. All right, so here we go. Just grab this guy and bring it over here. There we go. So as you can see, we've got the same thing happening here. Oop, I accidentally touched that with my finger. But that's what we're going to talk about now, is creating a binder. So what is a binder? A binder is simply a folder on steroids. So you're used to using folders, Dropbox or your own laptop, things like that. And they've been around since the dawn of the computer age, right? So folders, though, are terrible at holding interactive things that are dynamic, like maps, things like checklists, things like routes, things like milestones, things that you want to update dynamically. You can't really put in a folder. So what we've created are binders. And binders can hold all these interactive things as well as all your other stuff. So you've got lots of photos, documents, zip files, audiobooks, sound files, movies, whatever you've got. Doculife can handle it, and then some. And that then some is that interactive side of things where you could add dynamic maps and checklists and things like that. So we're the only people that have interactive dynamic binders. You won't find them anywhere else but Doculife. So to create a new binder, you're going to click rather on this rather large plus tile, or if you've got a lot of binders and you need to create a new one, there is a smaller one at the top. Let's go ahead and click that. We're going to do my fave photos, because we're going to look at some photos tonight. We're going to create binder. All right. And then on the mobile app, as you can see, the plus button also is here. So there's that new binder that we just made on the desktop. And if you click that plus button, that is also how you will make a binder on mobile. So just click that. It'll open up create binder. You can just type in a name, hit create, and then you will get the same thing that we just got here by doing it on desktop. So this is my fave photos. All right, so let's take a look at that and kind of click into it and see what's here. So on the left-hand side on desktop, you're going to have your conversations. This is where you're going to invite your contributors to collaborate. And then over here is where you're going to add all your stuff. So what we're going to do here is create a couple of sections. And I'll try to keep this active. here. So we've got this section here. I'm going to call this my faves. And then we're going to create another one underneath. We're going to call this one gear. And then one more. We're going to call this one on location. So sections allow you to further segment the page and the content that's on it. So if we look at the mobile app and we kind of jump out and then kind of jump back in again, we should see there we go, my faves, gear, and on location show up in the mobile application. So if you hover over a section, you'll see that it has a pretty awesome toolbar on it. You can add widgets. You can change the color of the section right here. Just pick any color that suits your fancy. You can move sections around. So really easy to rearrange and reorder. Even if you've got tons of content in these, it's just this easy to rearrange your sections. And just hit save order there. And then you can move a section. So even if you've got a ton of stuff within that section, you can move it between binders. So if you've got something that you want to reuse, you can copy it or you can move it. We've got both options. So really handy to be able to move content around that you've already put into a section. So here's that copy icon. So you can copy that section again, make a copy within the binder, or you can move it to another binder if you'd like. Then you can add a section description. So yeah, these are my best shots. There you go. And then lastly, you could trash the section, minimize it. We don't have any content in it. So the content would minimize, and then you would see this here, and that would be it. Or you could favorite this section, and your favorite always shows up all the time, even if you're not hovering on it. So on mobile, if you long press on a section like my faves, you can see you can add a section above, below. You can rename the section, remove the section, or reorder the sections. And so that is going to be the same as on desktop. You just kind of drag and move them around. So similar experience here, which is great, right? So we're going to move this one back up to the top. We're going to save that order, and then we go back. Great. All right. So let's upload some stuff. And what we have to upload, we've got a bunch of great photos here. See uploads. Here we go. All right, so to upload, we want to hit this big blue plus button here, and that's always going to be the way that we add things. So on mobile, if we hit that plus button, you're going to have a few different options. You're going to see you can add some widgets here at the top. We've got bookmark, album, video, checklist, or note. You can invite contributors. You can take a photo, so it'll access your camera and take a photo and suck it right into Doculife. You can upload photos from your photo library. So if you got a bunch of stuff that you want to declutter, get out of your photo roll and put into Doculife, back up, get it on the cloud, access it everywhere. You can just select those from your photo library and upload them. You can add a section, or you can browse the file browser. So if you've got stuff on iCloud, you can grab it from there. So let's close that out and then look at the one on desktop as well. So if we click this here, we've got the upload window. So in the first one, if we have a section or an album, you could select it here. These are both optional. We have a few different sections already created. And the awesome thing about Doculife is that if I hadn't created a section or an album, I could create it right here on the fly. So if the section doesn't exist, it'll ask me if I want to create it. And I can create it right here and then upload to it directly. Number 2 is about tags. And we'll go over tags next week in the advanced webinar. So show up here next week, same time, and we'll go over some more advanced topics. And then last here is this dotted box. And this is what you're going to drag and drop your files into, or simply click this link and open your file system. So we're going to drag and drop some stuff here tonight. And the cool thing about Doculife too is that you can multitask. I can close this window and it's still going. If I need to upload it, just click this blue guy right here, and you can follow along with everything that's getting uploaded. So really cool. All right, so we just uploaded a whole bunch of stuff, and then at the end, it gives us a little summary report card. Tells us how many things have been uploaded, how long it took, the date, time, and how many files were uploaded. So 17 JPEGs. All right, and this is completely optional. You can turn this off and it won't show anymore. I like it because it also will tell me what didn't get uploaded if there was any errors. It looks like we're error-free tonight, so we're going to go ahead and close that. So if we look on our mobile app here, there we go. Our photos that we just uploaded on desktop are now coming in on the mobile application for the first time. There we go. And so as you can see here, it's same exact kind of experience, right? Okay, so I've got all these photos and I've got 3 sections, but how do I get all these photos down into these sections that I made because I didn't choose the section when I uploaded the photos? Have no fear. If you hover over a card, you'll see that not only do you get the giant magnifying glass letting you know that you can open it up and look at it bigger, you've got these 2 other options in the top right-hand corner. And the one that we're going to be concerned about today is this disk. So the disk is lets you select it. And when you select it, you'll see you'll get this drop-down menu at the top. We've got move. So we can move this somewhere. We can copy it somewhere. We can add it to an album. We can rotate it left or right. We can download it. We can hide it. Hiding it just takes it out of view. So if it's something that you don't need to see very often, you can simply hide the object, but it'll still be in the binder. You just need to show it whenever you want to see it afterwards. You can delete the object, or if you close this, it'll just simply deselect whatever you've got selected. So I'm going to select here, and you can select as many things as you need to, all of my favorite photos here, and we're going to move these down into that section that I created down below. So just finish. There we go. And we're going to click on move. And you see now all the sections are listed. So all I need to do is click on the one that I'd like. If I want to create one, I can just click add section, type in the name I'd like to create, hit return, then click move here, all good to go. So again, we're always giving you ways to create stuff on the fly if you didn't do it in the other view. So no worries if you hadn't created a section yet, you need one, just go ahead and add it here, really easy. So we're going to move these down. And as you can see, they're all disappearing and then reappearing. And I had minimized this, so let's open it up and see those photos. There we go. So if we go back to our application, so your binder will take on the binder thumbnail of whatever the first image or document is in the binder. You can also set it via binder settings, which is this cool gear icon. We'll cover off on binder settings next week. But as you can see here on mobile, it took the first image. And if we go take a look at that, you can see that that image is no longer at the top. If we scroll down the page here, you'll see that they've been moved into that My Faves section on your app as well. So really cool stuff, right? Okay, so let's go back up here and move the rest of these into their appropriate sections. So I'm going to next select all of the gear photos, and we're going to move those into that gear section. And then lastly, the on location photos, and we'll move those into that on location section. There you go. So now we've got our stuff organized into 3 different sections, and on the mobile application, my phone keeps going to sleep. Sorry about that. If we go back out and then take a look again, we'll refresh the page here. There you go. As you can see, My Faves is now the top, just like it is here on desktop, right? And we've got this first photo here. And then as we scroll down, we'll go through our faves. We go into gear. So as you can see, is the next section gear, just like it is here on desktop. Really cool, right? All right. So if I have a conversation here with myself, these are awesome. See, these are amazing. All right. And I'll pop that comment in there. And we should see that over here in this conversation panel here. There we go. These are amazing. So you've got these awesome shortcuts here where you could reference any user section or document or widget here. So just use that @ sign, and you could, if there was other people in this binder collaborating with me, You could tag them quickly using the @ sign. But likewise, as you can tag a user, you can also tag a section or a document or a widget just by using these other two shortcuts here. The exclamation point will list all of the sections on your page here. So I'll do it right here in this chat window. I'll hit the exclamation point, and as you can see, all of the sections on the page kind of pop up here. So I can select one and it'll get tagged. And if I just add another message on here, is my faves is my fave. There you go. So as you can see, the section now is tagged in blue, and that's the same result that would happen if you're tagging a user or a document as well. All right, so if we refresh, we take a look at this now and look at the conversations. So the conversations is this little chat bubble down here. Excuse me. There we go. And then you got that section tagged, and then is my fave. So another great thing on here is that all of your conversations will be available in conversation summary. And that's also up here at the top. So any conversation that you have throughout Doculife on any object, because every object is enabled, you can have a conversation. Every picture, every document, every widget can have its own conversation associated to it. And all those conversations will be listed here on the left-hand side for easy access. And anyone that's new, like this one here, will have a little red dot there telling you that there's new. So if I click on this here, you'll see that here's my conversation. And then it also shows me what it's referencing. So if I were to, for instance, go back to this binder here and open up this picture, I can enter a comment here on the left-hand side and say, great sunset. And that comment will get entered here. And it should show up here. There it is. And so if I click on this, it'll say great sunset, but it's also showing me the object that we're discussing. So any object here, widget, document, file, it'll always be on the right-hand side. So you always have context about what that conversation is about. So if someone's telling you, hey, this picture needs to get updated, edited, or this needs to change something about a document, if you will, a contract, that'll be here on the side. And all you need to do to view it full size is click on it, and it'll take you there. So super handy. Again, you can like it, print it, and then download it right from here as well. So super handy thing. And then whoever's you're conversing with, their replies will be here as well. So cool. All right. So here's that welcome conversation here from Concierge. And if you hover over any comment, you could also add an emoji to it, a reaction. So really fun. Excellent. So let's go back to the binder itself here. All right. So Doculife has a few different layouts here. And right now what we're looking at is what we call card view. And card view will show you the entire object. So as you can see here, some of these cards are different heights. Like this portrait picture is a little bit taller than this portrait picture. Things like that. So it'll show you the entire object. However, if you want to have like a tighter grid, you can select grid view, which is right next to card view here. And everything will have a nice tight card applied to it. And it's not physically cropping the file. It's just visually cropping it. So all the rest of your image is still here. And proof of that is that we can make some amazing layouts. Now let's talk about that. So if you right click and get this 3-dot action menu here, what you'll see is this cool grid. And each of these squares is one column and one row. So if we look at this tile right here is one column, right? Because it's in this first column, and then it's one row. So it's 1 by 1. Now, if we want to make this 1 wide and 2 high, we just do this here and we highlight 2 squares, and the picture will then get bigger on the page. Now, again, it's just visually cropping. It's not physically cropping this, because if I made this elongated, you can see that the left and right of the image is still there. But we like this picture tall, so we're going to do this here. And then literally within, if you just refresh the page, the preview will come back. And then literally within a few seconds, we can create an amazing layout. So let's go ahead and do that now. So this one will look good too wide here. And this one will probably look good to Utah. I wonder what's going on with this guy. Ooh, look at that. That's a bad error. All right, so let's just refresh that there. Let's do a hard refresh of this page and get all that goodness back in here. There we go. It still doesn't like this guy though, huh? But let's just go down and keep rearranging these. So let's see, make Finding Nemo. We can do him too wide. I like this guy 1:1. This one I think is pretty tall here, so we could do that one kind of tall. And look at that cool church. Kitty cat we could do too wide. All right, and then Mr. Sphinx. Yeah, he looks good as is. So cool. And then Doculife just auto shifts to adjust and to adjust to your layout. So as you can see, I just made this super cool, interesting layout in just a few seconds using those cool grid tools. It's really fun. Another thing that you can do is make it into an album. And so what we're going to do here is select these. And we're going to do add to album. And as you can see, I don't have an album created yet. So I'm going to do, let's see here, gear. Oh, just my digital gear. How's that? In case I have additional gear that's not digital, like tripods and stuff. All right. Remember to hit return. An album will get created. And then we click add to album. And we'll hit close. And they're gone. Why is that? Because it put the album at the top of the page. So let's move that back down into that gear section really quickly. And that's how easy we can do that. So with albums, though, the cool feature with albums is that you get this nice thumbnail grid here is presentation mode or theater mode. Let's call it theater mode. If you click on theater mode, you get this nice distraction-free viewing, and you can hide this photo strip down here if you want to get the biggest impact of your stuff. And as you hover over, you can see that there's a toolbar at the top, so you can rotate the image, find out some information about it. So if this was a photo I took with my cool camera, I could open up this metadata, and if you show all metadata, it'll show you all the data from your camera. So f-stop, shutter speed, camera type, lens type, all that fun information that photographers love. If you don't love it, leave it closed. And to close the info panel altogether, just click that I and it'll go away. If you want to leave a comment, just click on that comment chat bubble there and you can get the conversation panel. You can leave a comment and the owner can reply to you and you guys can have a conversation about this photo, talk about gear. You can delete the photo, or as we go through here, you can see this one is rotated incorrectly. So let's rotate that left. Boom. As easy as that, right? And we can close that chat window there. Another cool thing is that if you open this up, you can drag and drop these around if you want to change the order of your slideshow. So just click and drag. That easy. Really cool, right? So let's close that out. And there we go. All right, so let's just recap real quick about what we've done so far. We've made a binder. We've uploaded some stuff. We've made a section. And we've made an album. Let's talk about widgets real quick. So if you hit the plus button again, that second tab is add widgets. And we've got a lot of these great productivity style widgets here. So you can create a media rich note. So if you open that up, you can create some fun stuff here. You can write a full term paper in Doculife if you'd like. And you've got all these formatting options, underline, text color, font, all that fun stuff here in this awesome text editor. Or you could add a location. So simply search for this on the map and it'll put it on a map for you. You can do a driving route. You can set a milestone. So say if you've got a project, a DIY project or a trip, and you need to add some milestone dates like, hey, we need to get plane tickets by here. We need to get a hotel by here. Or I need to find a contractor by this date and I need to have materials by this date. You can set milestones and then just check them off as they happen. So it's really more like a visual style checklist. And if you are a checklist junkie, we've got that as well. So it's super handy to have on your mobile phone. You can also set a reminder. and it'll have a visual countdown in days, minutes, seconds if you want. You can customize it, change the background color, and then you'll get an email with the time that you specified beforehand, reminding you of that particular date. You can add in contact card that we saw in that property rental binder. And you can add a bookmark if you're copying and pasting a URL. You can open this up, paste the URL, and it'll make a bookmark. Same thing with a video. You can paste a YouTube or a Vimeo link in here. You can create a photo album just like we just did. You can add a conversation panel. So you can add a conversation panel within a section and have a conversation right in that section. So really handy. You can have a conversation anywhere about anything. And then lastly, we got rewards accounts. You can add your rewards accounts like mileage, hotel, car rental. And so you have that number right away when they ask for it at the desk. All right, so these are some great widgets here. And but Doculife is best when you're collaborating with someone. So how do you do that? You click on this giant blue invite contributors button right here, and it opens up this cool window. So a quick way to send a link to someone, maybe you're already chatting with them somewhere, is you can just copy this link. So now Doculife's got some user roles here. I would suggest you do editor if you know that person, or if you don't know them, they're an acquaintance, not a friend, you do read download. So read download means they can only look at your stuff and download it. They can't alter it in any way, shape, or form. Editors and admins can change your stuff. They can delete it, they can change it, they can modify it, they can add their own stuff. So make sure that you're choosing the right role when you're doing that. But if you want to invite someone and they're already in contact, you can just select them from this list here. Or if they're going to be someone new, you can just type in their email address. So I'm just going to type in a test address here that I always like to use. And then you can, as it says here, invite them to Doculife. So we'll click that. It'll add them to the list here. You can select that role I was just discussing. You can add a note here as well. Check out my faved photos that will get included in that email that they receive. So you can personalize it, and they'll get it. They'll get an invitation. I'll show you what that looks like here in a second. So invitation sent, it'll automatically push them over into the invitation sent tab. So you can see who the invitation was sent by, because admins can also send invitations as well. So if you invite someone to be a contributor and give them the admin role, they can invite their own people. So it's good to see who sent the invitation in case something's not working out right. And the invitation will expire. It's not an open-ended, infinite invitation. It will expire here on February 16th, 2017. So just under 30 days. And if they haven't responded, you can copy the link here and then paste it into your own email if you'd like to remind them, like, hey, I sent this to you, check it out. Or you can delete it. And then when they've accepted, they'll be over here on the accepted tab, and you could also adjust their role at that time. So really cool way, and you can invite as many people as you like. You're not limited to amount of contacts at all. And they can chat. Anyone can chat with any role. And they can contribute, add their own photos, really fun stuff. All right. So next, let's take a look at the browser extensions. So the browser extension we call the web clipper, and what it does is it literally saves the web as you're browsing. So to install that, just go to the Chrome web store, just type in Chrome extensions into Google, and it'll take you there. It's also available for Firefox as an add-on. So if you're a Firefox user, just same thing, type in Firefox add-on, it'll bring you to the add-on store. Type in Doculife, and we'll show up. And then all you have to do is hit add to Chrome or add to Firefox, and it will get installed. So we're going to add extension here. It's connecting it to Doculife automatically. If you weren't logged in, it will ask you to log in. All right, and we'll go here and we will pin it, and we'll unpin that. There we go. All right, so now that extension is up here, you can see that Doculife logo. So let's, what can we do with the extension? So I'm gonna go to a camera review site here, keep with the photography theme. And the things that you can do with the web clipper while you're browsing and be super productive, and you can make an entire binder just with stuff that you save from the web. You don't even have to upload anything to it. You could just be an entire binder of bookmarks, videos, images, notes, things that you've saved from the web. So if you right click on the page here you'll see that Doculife is in your right click menu now. And if you hover over that, you can either go to the website, or it'll ask you if you want to save the content. And the content really depends on where you click on the page. So I just clicked in the page gutter here, and it's asking me if I want to bookmark the page and save it to Guest Information Hub, which I'm sharing, and then also My Favorite Photos. So let's save it into My Favorite Photos. And we can see that come in real time. And it should show up here on the top above that section there in a second here. Okay, while that's bouncing around the internet, while we can go over here and click on reviews. So there's two types of things, a bookmark and a link. And a bookmark is the page that you're on. And a link is if you click on a link, you hover over it and you can right click on it and you can save that link as a bookmark. As you can see, there's a few extra things here now. One says add bookmark, got add note, some text is highlighted, and add target. So this is the one that we're interested in right here. So add target is, we're going to put that into My Favorite Photos as well. And so when we see that, we'll see the page that actually lives under this link, not this page here, but we'll see that target here. So let's go back and check out that binder and see what's going on there. All right. So here is okay, so this is the target that we just saved. So let's go back and save a bookmark. I'm not sure why that didn't take before, but you can see how fast that came in, right? So we're going to bookmark this page here. Bookmark. I'm going to go to My Favorite Photos. Let's see, maybe I clicked over too fast before. There it is. Boom, just like that. All right, so let's go back and click into this here. And say I want to save this as text. All you need to do is highlight it. Right click, go to Doculife. And as you can see there's a new option that says Add Note. And you select this, it'll automatically create a note widget for you. So that here it is. See how fast that was? So let's go ahead and extend this out to 2 so we could see it all. And then we're going to modify this. And when we modify the widget, we can then change things like, let's see, we're going to do font size. We'll make it a little bit bigger. Go 18. You can change the font family. We'll go Georgia to be a little bit more sophisticated. And if you want to highlight anything here too, you can, like say we want to know that it shoots 4K video at a glance, you can go to this highlighter tool and choose that yellow color or enter in your own hex color there too, which is really cool. And it'll highlight it for you. You can also adjust the color, the background of the note. I'm not going to do that because I just highlighted this in yellow. But you'll give your note a background color as well to really make it stand out. So then just click Update here down the bottom. And there it is. Really cool, right? All right, and that's how you use the browser extension. All right, so we covered off on a lot of topics here tonight, and I really encourage you to download the mobile app and get started using Doculife. It's really handy. You can do so much with it. Come back next week we'll cover off on how to use tags, how to use the import email address. We'll talk more about contributor roles. We'll cover off on binder settings and more advanced topics in Doculife. Hope to see you there. Thanks so much.